Hey guys, this is Vic Tech Tips and here's my review of the M3 MacBook Air. Today, we'll be diving deep into everything this laptop has to offer, from its design and performance to its battery life and value for money. If you're considering buying the M3 MacBook Air, stay tuned as we break down its strengths and potential drawbacks. First off, let's talk about the design. The M3 MacBook Air retains the iconic slim and lightweight profile that the Air series is known for. It's incredibly portable, making it a great choice for students and professionals who are always on the go, or if you're like me and you're a sucker for thin laptops. The build quality is top-notch, with a unibody aluminum chassis that feels both premium and durable. I got the 15-inch model in the midnight color, but you can also get it in starlight, silver, and space gray. If you need something even more portable, you can also get it with a 13-inch display. Now, I want to address the color because a lot of YouTubers don't recommend that you get the midnight version, but I totally disagree with them. Yeah, it does catch fingerprints pretty easily, but honestly, it's not that bad. And you can just wipe it off with a wet cloth and enjoy this beautiful piece of hardware that Apple made. In fact, I actually don't have to clean it very often compared to my iPad Pro that I had to wipe the screen almost every day. So I wouldn't write off the midnight color just because of fingerprints, unless you're really OCD about this type of thing. And then, sure, maybe you could get the silver or the starlight and even the space gray. I do want to point out that even though midnight is probably my favorite color that Apple currently offers in any device as of right now, and I do think it's absolutely stunning, I really wish they would bring back that rose gold that we had back with the M1 MacBook Air. I think that looked pretty dope. Still, regarding the design, I want to point out how unbelievably thin this laptop is and how light it feels. Coming in at 3.3 pounds or 1500 grams, it just makes it a joy to use. My one complaint about this design, and I'm pretty sure that it applies to every MacBook, is that the display doesn't go as far back as I would have liked. I will note that this is my first MacBook in 8 years, as I had been rocking my iPad Pro as my primary personal computer, and then I have my work laptop that does tilt up to 180 degrees, which I find useful when I'm using it in bed, just laying it on top of my lap and getting a comfortable viewing angle to watch content, browse the web, or anything else that I want to do. But this is definitely not a deal breaker, it's rather a minor inconvenience, but I just wanted to point it out. Moving on to the display, the M3 MacBook Air features a stunning Retina display with True Tone technology. The colors are really vibrant, the text is sharp, and brightness levels are fantastic. Even blacks don't look bad at all. Now, I know that the MacBook Pro has a mini LED display and the new iPad Pro has an OLED display, and both have ProMotion, but honestly, after using the Air, I think the display is a 9.5 out of 10. I really did not expect it to look this good at all, and I find myself opening it up just to admire the image quality. So I am pretty confident that you will enjoy this display no matter who you are. It would be great to have mini LED or OLED and the 120Hz refresh rate, but those are not major upgrades in my opinion. And they're costly, so I think you get great bang for your buck with the Air. Still talking about displays, you can now connect up to 2 external monitors at once, as long as the lid is closed, aka clamshell mode. So that's good news if you need that kind of setup. I honestly just use one monitor as of right now, pretty big one, a 32-inch one, which I actually think is a little too big. But anyhow, I don't really think that I know anyone who uses more than one external display. So again, I think most YouTubers make a bigger deal out of this, but realistically, 99% of the target audience for this laptop doesn't need more than that. It would be a nice addition, but realistically, this doesn't matter to most people. Now, let's get into performance. This laptop rocks Apple's M3 chip, which is extremely fast and should handle most workloads without breaking a sweat. I really hate it when reviewers say that the MacBook Air is just for browsing the web or admin work, because it's really not. I edit videos on this, I use Photoshop, I have dozens of apps open at the same time, I code on this. I think this machine is very powerful even with the fanless design, and most professionals would have a great time working from this device. I think the only people who would really benefit from getting the MacBook Pro instead of the Air are like developers who need to do lots of insane machine learning tasks that require 64 gigs of RAM, which you can't get on the MacBook Air. Or maybe video producers who work in extremely complex projects. But other than that, I can't see the regular M3 not being enough. I will mention that I did get the model with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage, but if you get the base model, you only be getting 8 gigs of RAM. And I do think upgrading the RAM to at least 16 gigs is a good choice, just in case you have somewhat of a heavier workflow or you like to have 100 tabs open in Chrome all at the same time, and honestly, just to future-proof your investment, because as time goes by, apps get more features and those features require more RAM. Therefore, maybe getting the 8 gig version could save you some money in the short term, but you might end up spending more money at the end because your laptop is going to start feeling slow in a couple of years, and those extra 8 gigs of RAM would really have come in handy. I do wish that Apple had offered 16 gigs of RAM in the base model, but well, they didn't, and therefore you do need to spend $200 extra to upgrade it. Storage-wise though, if you're not the kind of person who installs tons of apps or have tons of files locally stored on your device, I do think you could get by with the base 256 gig version, and if you eventually need more storage, you can always get an external SSD. Battery life is another area where the M3 MacBook Air excels. Apple claims up to 18 hours of battery life on a single charge, but that's a little exaggerated. It's mostly for basic web browsing or watching video, so you shouldn't expect that much battery life if you're under a heavier workload. I probably get about 9 to 10 hours, which is enough to get me through a full day of work without needing to carry a charger around. The laptop also supports fast charging, so you can quickly top up the battery when needed, but it comes standard with a 35-watt charging brick with 2 USB-C ports, which is not that fast. However, you can get a free upgrade to a 70-watt brick with 1 USB-C port if you buy online. The M3 MacBook Air also comes with a range of additional features to enhance the overall user experience. The Magic Keyboard offers a comfortable typing experience. The keys are pretty big, it feels comfortable to type in, it has a function row and a Touch ID scanner to make unlocking your Mac and making payments a little easier. I really wish that instead we got Face ID, because it just gets out of the way. You don't even realize you're unlocking your device. It just unlocks like magic. And Touch ID is a little less convenient, but still way better than having to type in your passcode. The trackpad though, it's amazing. It's fantastic. But I think everyone knows this already. It's large, it's responsive, and honestly, after not using a MacBook for this long, I was actually surprised with how much you can customize the gestures. You can configure swipes and pinch to zoom, use 4 fingers to move between spaces, scroll using 2 fingers, and much more. Apple also offers you a bunch of options in the Settings app for you to customize it and have it just the way you like it. I, for one, immediately enabled tap to click, simply because that's what I'm used to, and I also enabled a 3-finger drag to select text or move windows on the screen, because I haven't really gotten the hang of clicking and dragging yet. Maybe I'm stupid, but after changing things up in settings, I couldn't be happier. The Air is also compatible with Wi-Fi 6E, which provides faster and more reliable internet connectivity if you have a router that supports it. The webcam is okay. It's definitely better than my Windows laptop, but it's not great by any means. What is great though is the fact that you can use your iPhone as a webcam using continuity camera, which I think is one of the most amazing features of macOS, And this is just one example of the benefits of living within Apple's ecosystem. If you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can share files to your Mac using AirDrop. You can copy something on your iPhone and paste it on your Mac. You can access and send messages directly from your Mac, and all their settings sync flawlessly between devices. To this day, some of these features still feel like magic to me, and I have nothing to complain about. The speakers on the 15-inch are loud and clear enough, but I was expecting a little bit more. The thing is that coming from the iPad Pro, I think my bar was set too high, but they're fine for watching movies, etc. But I don't really use them to listen to music. I prefer to connect my MacBook to my AirPods or to my Bluetooth speaker to get more depth of sound. Finally, let's talk value for money. The M3 MacBook Air starts at $1099 for the 13-inch version and $1299 for the 15-inch version. But they do only come with 8 gigs of RAM. So like I said, I would recommend the $200 upgrade to 16 gigs, and you can upgrade it to 24 gigs of RAM and up to 2 terabytes of storage if you want to. But it will cost you, going up to $2,299 for the spec'd out 15-inch M3 MacBook Air. So, is it worth your money? Well, if you're coming from an M2, I don't think you should upgrade. The improvements in the CPU and GPU are not negligible, but they're not life-changing. And I say this just based on benchmarks, because like I said, I haven't used a Mac in 8 years, so I didn't have an M2 MacBook Air to compare it to. But if the numbers are trustworthy, then it's not that big of an upgrade. However, if you're buying this laptop coming from an older model or coming from a Windows PC or no laptop at all, I do think it's absolutely worth the money. This laptop is beautiful, it's fast, it's portable, it's everything most people need and then some. The trade-offs are really minor for the amount of functionality and honestly just fun that you can expect from this laptop. So, kind of a long video, but I tried to cover most of my main impressions after using the Air for a few weeks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please give a like and don't forget to subscribe for more tech reviews and awesome tips. See you in the next one.